Here at Oak Ridge, we care about our students' safety on the road. If there's a student crossing the crosswalk, always make sure you stop and let all students finish crossing the road before you proceed. Make sure you pay attention to stop signs, crosswalks, and speed limit signs on roads and parking lots. When driving on school property or in a school zone, you must ensure you are driving with increased caution. Even when you're not in a school zone, you should always signal properly and fully stop at stop signs as well as check your surroundings before you proceed. During school hours, as represented on the school zone signs at Oak Ridge High School, the speed limit on the roads around the school property is 20 miles per hour. Be sure you park in your assigned parking spot. You wouldn't like it if someone took yours. Although it may be fun and convenient to drive to and from school, remember it is crucial that you keep other safety as well as your own in mind. Drive safe, War Eagles.
The thing I love about English is that whether we're reading literature or we're writing stories, everyone has their own story and their own perspective. So when they're writing essays or reading novels or stories, everyone can see something different based on where they're from and their background, and then they, in the same way, they write with that in mind too, right? They have a different perspective when they write, which is one thing I just think is so cool about literature, is hearing everybody's different voice. This year has been crazy, but in some ways it's kind of cool because I think it's given us a new way to think about how to teach and to think about how to learn, and I think we've been forced to do a lot of self-reflection on what makes us learners and what works for our personalities, and experiencing trauma together really represents something for people, and I think that being able to look back on this and reflect how we handled it is going to tell us a lot about who we are.
How do I balance school and football? Well, we do work during the period whenever coach gives us time or whatever. That way we don't fall behind because we don't got the time to do it if we're practicing. We got to be able to go practice and take care of this, because if we can't take care of our school, we can't play. So they care more about that than they care about us after the field.
What I manage school and football is just by doing my work as much as possible in school. And I have free time and just pushing through, because after practice I'm tired. So you just got to fight through it. You got to fight yourself to push yourself to make sure you do your work.
I make sure that I do as much as my schoolwork as I can before I do anything pertaining to football, because I'm a student athlete for anything. So.
What instrument do I play? Like a little tuba, and I've been playing for about, this will be my 7th year. It makes me a better player in that I'm reading some of the hardest literature out there, and it gets me on a process. It makes it to where I'm practicing regularly, and it improves my skills not only on a certain piece but just in general with technicality and musicianship. Have I ever made region band? Yes, I made it in 8th grade and as a sophomore here at Oak Ridge High School. How long do we prepare our music? We spend about the whole fall semester. So as marching season is going on, underneath it all, we all have at least the top 2 bands, and whoever else chooses to do region is preparing that up until about November, even December. Well, the audition process, we get the music in August when we start summer band, and then we go to master classes during summer band and we prepare it, and then after summer band is over, it's up to us, and we have recording cuts that are due. That's what our grade is for band. Yes, there is a lot of competition. Because it's with the whole region, so we're not talking about just schools from our district, we're talking about Klein and all of those other schools. What are region concerts like? I have only been to one, because the one my sophomore year got canceled due to weather, and it was like a 2-day thing. We go in, day one, all completely new people that I've never seen before, and we sight read basically a bunch of music, and then the next day we perform it. The music is very challenging. It's some of the most challenging literature that I have ever read.